Hey guys, it's your boy CeeLo Not Green, and guess what? I committed the cardinal sin. I played some games of the regular live version of Overwatch 1. I know, it's embarrassing to admit, but I played all of my placement games for competitive on Overwatch 1 yesterday, and after playing it, I wanted to make a video talking about the differences I've noticed from playing only a few games of Overwatch 1 again and the Overwatch 2 beta. I'll make some observations as well as making a few suggestions about what the Overwatch 2 beta can learn from the live version of Overwatch. So let's waste no more time and get into this. So while queuing up for my support placements on Overwatch 1, I jumped into a quick while you wait deathmatch match, and I noticed a few things right off the bat. Firstly, the audio. I insta-locked Soldier because it's basically muscle memory at this point in the beta, and playing Soldier, it's just super obvious how much of an improvement the audio overall is in Overwatch 2. The gun sounds are just so much better in the beta, it's not even close. Soldier's gun sounds so pathetic now on live. The impact each gunshot has from the new audio really gets noticed even after a few seconds of playing him. I also noticed the same point with Ana. When I got into a game, it felt like Ana was just shooting light puffs of air in Overwatch 1 compared to shooting actual syringes out of her gun like in Overwatch 2. I think a lot of people really kind of hyper-focus on what's bad about the audio in Overwatch 2, mainly the bassiness of the audio mix. I will admit the last balance patch on Thursday remedied a lot of the audio issues I had previously. The bassiness of the guns the enemy and your team are shooting was decreased by quite a lot, and now that that's been done, so much more can be heard. The point sound effects, which by the way was my biggest issue with the mixing when the beta launched, have been turned way up. So much to a point where I can actually tell that a round is about to end while I'm engaging the enemy, so I don't have to look at the objective timer to know what's going on at all times. Overall, I think it's really clear that the audio in Overwatch 2 has been a huge upgrade that I immediately missed when I played a few games of Overwatch 1. Another thing I noticed was that the game felt really crowded. My first game, of course, was on Hanamura, so I got to play 2 CP after a 2-week break. Playing into that choke with 6v6 really feels so bad now after playing so much of Overwatch 2. The beta has a lot of maps with almost no chokes, and if they do have a choke, there's plenty of ways to get around them. Playing Hanamura just reminded me of how bad it feels having to walk into a literal death funnel to even advance at all. I think the whole philosophy of Overwatch 2 having less chokes and just less spam coming into one concentrated area has left a huge good impression on me. The 2 tanks was also something I was not particularly missing. One of the things I really like about the beta is that having one less tank allows someone like Ana to focus on more than just healing your tanks. I kept playing Ana in Overwatch 1 like Ana in Overwatch 2, and I was noticing that I was letting one of my tanks die a lot. I kept trying to make plays on the enemy supports and DPS while my poor tank was just getting rocked while I was focusing on making some other play. That whole new way of playstyle in Overwatch 2 is not something that can really translate easily into Overwatch 1, and it's why I think a lot of support players are having a lot of trouble right now. Making plays as support is more important, impactful, and easy in Overwatch 2 than in Overwatch 1. While it felt like a lot of support was just heal botting in Overwatch 1, in the beta, the impact you can have with a tank off the map, as well as just less CC, is incredible. I felt like I was playing better than I do normally too. Having that gameplay style change for Overwatch 2 made me more confident in taking more offensive engages and make plays I normally wouldn't have before. Using cover also had been nailed into my brain. I'm just so used to dying instantly if I walk in the open, I found myself hiding more and more in the Overwatch 1 games I played. The biggest thing I desperately missed, honestly, was the ping system. I really want to hammer this home. The ping system is way more important and useful than I think you realize. Having a Doomfist, who I forgot was a one-shot, wow, he's so much better to play against in Overwatch 2, or a Genji dash away and not being able to ping them was actually a little frustrating, and I found myself spamming the scroll wheel many times trying to alert my team of their location. The ping system is really the unsung hero in the beta, and honestly might be the thing I miss the most when the beta goes down in about a week and a half. One last surface level gameplay thing I wanted to mention was how much I missed the competitive role set. Even though after playing a few games of Overwatch 1, I noticed I much prefer the beta, one thing I really enjoyed was just playing the comp game mode itself. Of course, it was toxic as hell in my first game, literally my main tank shitting on the rest of my team the whole time, but the satisfaction of playing a game and having both sides played felt great. I have barely still played Midtown Attack or Circuit Royale at all. I have played so much Coliseum, Lijiang, and Ilios. I think I never want to play those maps ever again after this beta. I just want to be able to learn how to play both attack and defense on these new maps. I really wish the Overwatch team would add an unranked mode where instead of having SR and whatever goes along with comp, you just play the competitive rule set. It can still be quick play, but please just add an unranked mode. I'd even want that in Overwatch 1 or even the final release of Overwatch 2. I just want to play both sides of a map when I play it instead of either steamrolling a team or getting steamrolled and not even getting a chance to learn how these maps are supposed to be played. I also hate the time of quick play on the beta. I hate holding a team for 4.5 minutes on the first and then they cap and then they get 3 minutes back on. Like, it seems really unfair, but that's whatever. That's how quick play has always been, so it's whatever. Just a point I wanted to make. Okay, now that's what I noticed I liked more about the Overwatch 2 beta after playing a few Overwatch 1 games, so I wanted to talk mainly about one thing that I think Overwatch 1 does infinitely better than Overwatch 2. The user experience feedback UI. UI is such an important thing in video games. It's one of those things you don't even notice until you see something that has major issues. The main thing I wanted to talk about was the feedback UI in the game. When I was playing Overwatch 1, I noticed so much more that I was physically doing things. The biggest two things were the activity feed, or whatever this little stuff is at the bottom, and the kill feed itself. I wanted to go in depth about what makes it better in Overwatch 1 and how the team can learn from themselves and what makes a better user experience when the UI is done right. I'll start with the kill feed. When the beta launched, the kill feed was in a obviously rough spot. It was bugged to hell and back, and much of the info was just unreadable. The reses, the self kills, the environmental kills, the headshots, you name it, there was an issue. I will say that since the balance patch this last week, there were significant upgrades to the kill feed UI that I like a lot. First of all, it's so much bigger than before. What used to be a tiny colored sliver you could barely notice in the top of the screen is now bigger and more noticeable. They made the whole box bigger, added a little transparency gradient, and made it so that you can see much better when someone dies. This is a good start. What is also a good start, but also kind of a side grade, is the new headshot marker. Away is the barely noticeable outline of red from the start of the beta, and now there's a little crosshair symbol that pops up when you get a headshot. This is better than what we had before, but what I'm not really getting is why they're so against making it red. In the alpha, mere weeks before the beta launched, the headshot markers were still red. It's so much easier to see. Your brain has a much easier time noticing a color change versus looking at an icon to recognize something. Let's do a quick example. I'm going to flash a quick image and I want you to tell me what's easier to notice. Well, which one was it? I'll put money down that the red marker stood out more to you than the new icon. I think the icon is good, but I think to really step it up, simply making it red as well will help get this kill feed to a much better place. Another part of the kill feed that I like more about Overwatch 1 is when you get a final blow, the notification in the kill feed is highlighted. I'll go into this more when I talk about the activity feed, but what Overwatch 1 does to actually help you notify that you got a kill is highlight the kill feed when you do get that kill. You know what? I will actually use this as a segue into the activity feed in Overwatch 2. Let's do another quick comparison. I'll show you a clip of me getting a kill in Overwatch 1 versus Overwatch 2. Alright, let's break these down. In Overwatch 1, you can see I kill this Pharah with a totally not random skillful headshot as Zen. What does it do to reinforce me, the player? First, the kill feed. I can clearly see that 1, I got the kill because it was highlighted, and 2, the headshot marker is clearly large and red, which I can quickly barely glance at to see that the kill feed is highlighted. So it was me, and the red is there, which means I can see that I got it with a headshot. I don't even need to look any closer at what it says. Let's do that quick flash again. Boom. Highlighted, red. It was me with a headshot. What else does the game do to reinforce this kill? The text under my crosshair. It's giant and pops up with authority within close peripherals of my crosshair. As soon as it hits and she dies, I can instantly tell from seeing the text pop up that I did it. I did something in the game. Another really small but noticeable thing is the text for a final blow is different than the text for everything else. In Overwatch 2, everything offensive related is in this red box and they look the same, which I do like, but at a glance, there is no way for for me to notice a difference between getting an assist and getting a kill. The icons are different, but there's no chance at a millisecond glance I'll be able to tell the difference between this skull and this skull. The last thing that's pretty important is the red skull that appears on your crosshair when you get a final blow. Look how big it is and how long it appears on screen after I get that kill. I know for a fact I got that kill because the giant red skull pops up and it stays there huge for a while afterwards. So all of that combined, we get a very noticeable and well reinforced kill. Now let's go take a peek at Overwatch 2. While a lot is similar, to me, it feels like it's less noticeable. It's not bad, and a lot of the same elements are there, it's just that for some reason the Overwatch 2 one feels worse. The kill feed looks the same when I get a kill as everyone else. The activity feed marker is still small and further out of my peripherals in Overwatch 1, and the skull is still there, but it's noticeably smaller and stays a shorter amount of time than in Overwatch 1. For me, a simple fix to this is literally highlight the kill feed when you get a final blow, make the headshot markers red, make the activity feed bigger when you get a final blow, make that red limb skull bigger and make it last a tiny bit longer, and you have a user experience feedback that feels more satisfying and is easier for the player to understand at a simple micro glance. Okay, did you enjoy that little dive into something I'm sure you've never even noticed? I bet you are. Overall, I think Overwatch 2 from a gameplay standpoint is an incredible upgrade from Overwatch 1. The gameplay feels tighter, the game is faster, and you feel like you have more agency as a player than ever before. What the beta right now is missing is a user experience that makes it feel like you're really having an impact. Most of it is either too small or just too complex for your brain to notice without devoting some focus onto UI elements that should just be noticed at a mere peripheral glance. I know that the team is still actively working on this as they made updates in the first week of the beta to help alleviate some of these issues, but I know that they will spend plenty of time on it in the future, and I cannot wait to see how good this next beta phase will be when it comes out in about a month from now. Alright, that's pretty much it for me. Please leave a like if you enjoyed or learned something new. Please subscribe and ring the bell icon to see more from me and get notified when I upload next. And leave a comment below what you think Overwatch 2 can learn from Overwatch 1. Alright, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.